Hi, Wendy here. I'm visiting with you from Winslow, Arizona. I'm not standing on the corner. I'm sitting here with the trains, and I wanted to tell you a little train story. See, George always loved trains. He always talked really fondly about when he was a kid, and they rode to the top of Pikes Peak and took the train up there, and in fact, we went back and did that again after he got his cancer. But what I really wanted to tell you was about George's Uncle Albert. See, Uncle Albert, one of George's mama's brothers. And if you've heard me tell these stories, you know that George's mama was one of 11 children, and she was the youngest of those 11. And there were all these famous stories about her brothers and sisters, many of whom George painted from George's mama's photo album. So George's aunts and uncles were all born in the 1880s, and in the 1800s, and one of those was Uncle Albert. And Uncle Albert was famously cheap. He was a bootlegger, in fact, during the Prohibition, and he used to walk around with a big old trench coat on, and he sewed pockets inside that he carried all the liquor in. But this was the other thing. Uncle Albert worked for the railroad, and the story that my George loved to tell was that one year there was a convention up in Chicago, and Uncle Albert was all excited. He'd never been to Chicago, yeah? So he gets on the train in New Iberia, and he works for the railroad, so he rides for free, right, all the way to Chicago. And he gets off the train, and he learns it's going to be 10 cents for the cab ride to the convention center. And rather than pay that 10 cents, he just stays on the train and rides all the way back to New Iberia. That's how cheap Uncle Albert was. And the other thing I'm reminded of is this. I knew George's mama. She lived to be 103. She came to live with us when we got married. She was quite something. I got a dream of doing a show about her. I'm definitely going to do that show one day. Whew. A lot of stories, a lot of paintings, a lot of history there. But one of the things was this, you know, as kids, we're all kids, right? The people we try to please the most oftentimes are our parents. George's daddy died when he was young, in his early 20s, and he tried to please his mama all her life. Again, she lived to 103. And yet, I heard her say more times than I can count, George, when are you going to realize that nobody's going to buy those pictures? When are you going to get a real job? Like with the railroad. Take it easy, y'all.